Let's talk periods. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's an interesting one today, but we're going to do it because it's important. And I'm sure there's someone that needs to hear at least something of what I have to say and what I have to share that helped me when I came off the contraceptive pill. So let's start from the beginning. I was on the pill from about the time I was 18, and I went on it for my skin because at that time I started to experience some, not acne, but pimples that I didn't really want to be there. And all of my friends, pretty much every single one of my friends, already had boyfriends and already, I was a late bloomer. But I was also very cautious and perhaps a little bit scared. So I just wanted to do everything right. And yeah, I had a conversation with my mum and I went on the pill. So I then was on the pill from, 18 until 34. That's a long, long, long time to be on the pill. And it's not that good for you. Let's just put that out there right now. I think we all know that. And it's not really the best option for health-wise. It's maybe a great option, absolutely a great option, if you don't want to have children, if you don't want to be falling pregnant while you're sexually active, sure. But it can wreak havoc if you are on it for too long. It can wreak havoc on some people even if they're on it for a hot minute. I'm no doctor, right? I'm no specialist at this. However, this is just my experience, and at 33, it definitely started to show signs that it was time to get off the pill. Most people, get off the pill a little bit earlier because they would like to have children. I do not want to have children. My partner and I have had lengthy conversations about it. We decided very early on. I came into the relationship saying, hey, I don't want kids, and that's fine. That's a whole other video. But when I started experiencing lots of headaches, lots of breast pain, if I did have my period, it was very painful. Lots of other different things that made me actually go and seek out a naturopath, which I had been to before, but I was to the point where I was like, something is seriously wrong and I need some answers. Of course, I went to a doctor first. I did explain what was up, especially in terms of the breast pain, because it was starting to get extremely painful, even to touch, to wear a bra, anything. It was extremely painful. To the point where I had a pap smear and the doctor actually didn't even examine my chest, even though I was nearly crying in pain at that point, and he wouldn't look me in the eye, and he just basically ushered me out of the room with no solution. So sometimes doctors are great and sometimes I've had not so great experiences. So I went to a naturopath, a female naturopath, had lots of in-depth conversations with her, and we went on a great big mission to get Sam well again. So that involved going to the dentist. If you haven't already seen my getting my mercury filling removed video, I will link that below, but that was part of it. Just a small part, but it was part of it. I went on a massive detox, which included some products that I'm about to show you. And I really decided it was time to stop the pill. And this was in fact the first time that someone had actually told me, maybe it's the pill, maybe it's time for you to stop taking it. In terms of the breast pain, I actually had a mammogram, which was so painful, and the lady there was like, you are way too young to be having one of these, but okay, this sounds serious. And I was nearly in tears. I'm pretty sure I did shed a few while my bosom was being absolutely squished like I don't even know what, just like jelly basically. And she said, obviously a man designed this machine. And I found that very funny at the time, but honestly, whoever the heck designed that machine needs to reevaluate that. Everything came back clear, but it was also stated again, now's the time to go off the pill. So I went straight off the pill, cold turkey. And although it was a journey, I was prepared. I had the right support people, the right support products, and I was prepared for what was ahead. But overall, it was the best thing that I've ever done for my body and my health. What had happened, essentially, again, I'm not a doctor, but essentially what had happened is I didn't have the right hormones that a woman of my age needs to function fully, properly, healthily, optimally, okay? So a lot of hormones had been completely suppressed, and that was triggering mastitis type of issues, and it was triggering all sorts of non-responses that shouldn't be happening. And once I went off the pill, it took a while, getting into detail, it took a while for my period to actually return. And I mean, just like a couple of extra weeks, it wasn't months. And they came back with a vengeance, and I was in a lot of pain, to the point where it felt like full-on endometriosis. And the reason I can say it felt like that is because when I was younger and I first got my period, I was often in the nurse's room at school because I was in so much pain at that time of the month. And I actually had a laparoscopy to check that I didn't have endometriosis. However, as we know now, a lot of those tests aren't always accurate 100%. They don't always find what they're looking for, and sometimes they can actually do more damage digging around in there if they're not 100% about what they do. So in order to deal with feeling all the feelings again, there's a lot of hormones, and with that a lot of emotion, and with that a lot of pain. To deal with this, there was a couple of things that really helped me. And the first thing was getting myself well, doing a full immunity boost, going on a detox cleanse, if you will. I don't like to use that word too often. If you think of it like taking the bad bacteria out of my body and replacing it with good bacteria and letting my garden grow. If you can picture a beautiful tree growing inside you and all the blossoms coming out, that's like optimal health, right? So that is the state that I wanted to get my body back into. So I really did eliminate addictive, acidic, allergenic foods, and I started to eat as clean as I possibly could, which is actually not that difficult for me to do, considering that I have done that many times before, and that is a lifestyle that I like to lead anyway, usually 80-20. But I went ham on it. I went in on it, and I made sure that I was giving myself a really good cleanse, a really good detox, a really good fresh start. Let's call it that. Let's call it a fresh start, so that everything had a chance to fall back into its natural flow, okay? Fall back into rhythm. And that was supported by a couple of different supplements, including Greens Balance. So this is an Arbonne product, and it is a Greens Balance of fruit and vegetable concentrates. It's literally a powder, and you may see me shot this pretty much every day on my Instagram stories. I still do it, and I did it before, but I just didn't do it as hardcore as I did while my body was recovering from coming off the pill. Basically, most people don't get enough of a rainbow of fruits and vegetables and all their vitamins and minerals and phytonutrients and everything like that in their diet anyway. So we do need to supplement that somehow, and this is my go-to. I have a little elixir that I make with this, which includes a scoop of this, a scoop of multivitamin powder, a shot of apple cider vinegar, and cold iced water, and I mix it all together and drink that. I do that pretty much every single day, and this has been excellent in giving my body an immune boost. Another product that I used was a pre and probiotic that doesn't need refrigerating. It's also an Arbonne product, and I'm a big fan of these products anyway. And it's in a sachet form, so you can travel with it as well. I just pour this into a drink, whether it is orange juice, greens juice, a smoothie. Just don't shake it up with the smoothie, like don't put it in a blender with the smoothie. And I just take this every single day. I actually take it with another product called Mind Health, and a fizz stick, and I love it. And this is great for restoring the flora. This is great for restoring the good bacteria in my gut, which is obviously going to help with everything else. We all know there's so much research, there's so much talk lately about gut health and the gut-brain connection, which is really important. So I've found these really, really helpful, and I will link these below if you want to check them out. Now, when it comes to my skin, I have naturally oily skin. My skin did freak out. Let's be real, the pill does sometimes help with skin, and it had been suppressing a lot of my natural oils, and all the hormones brought all the oil back onto my skin, and I was covered in adult acne. After coming off the pill, pretty much straight away, I was an oil slick for about 5 months. It really made me look at my skincare in detail all over again. And a big part of that was introducing an acne product into my regime. So I do normally use the RE9 products from Arbonne, but I started introducing a Clear Future range, which is for acne skin, whether you are a teenager or an adult. But there's exfoliating blemish pads, and it's a really nice, fresh, kind of like aloe, botanically based smelling product, and it feels great on the skin. And when everything is kind of hypersensitive, these are a little lifesaver. And as well as the mattifying blemish lotion, which really calmed down my oiliness throughout the day. This is a favorite, I still use it all the time. And a soothing overnight mask, which if you were having a major breakout, very helpful. And then the spot treatment, which is intensive blemish calming lotion. Really, really love these products. And then something else that came along later in the game, but also made a big difference, is the Healthy Skin Within Skin Elixir Vegan Collagen Booster. It's not an animal product, but it does boost your natural source of collagen within the skin. And again, it's a sachet that you drink. This is an acai flavor. So again, I just add it to an after workout drink or to a hydration drink or anything that you like, or it's also nice by itself. And usually at nighttime is the best time to take these, and I'll also link that below. Okay, so getting to the actual period itself, it was a bit of a shock for me to use pads and tampons again. And I started pretty much straight away looking for another solution, because it just is not very friendly to the balance of what's going on down there. So I actually did some research on menstrual cups, and I did invest in one. This is a Juju cup. I will link it below so you can check it out for yourself. But this has been an absolute game changer for me, and now I recommend it to anyone who is having issues. It can be a bit of an ordeal to actually master using it, and it can be a bit of a shock. But you actually start to learn about your period a lot more intimately, which actually makes it easier to manage. Using this is environmentally friendly, it's cost effective, and I personally think it's much more downstairs friendly. There's lots of different brands as well, and this was just one that I found actually on an underwear site, and it seems to work just fine, so no problems there. But the underwear, I'm also not going to show that, but I will link it below, is period proof underwear. I still actually don't really know what that means. I don't wear those underpants without the cup unless it's the end of my period and maybe there may be some spotting that day. So I'll wear them then, and I'll wear them during if I feel like I need something else or just need to feel secure down there. But essentially if anyone remembers, this is such a weird word, but if anyone remembers the sports undies called scungies from back in the day, they're kind of like that, but they are a bit more breathable and They have a cotton outer and a lace upper, and they're quite nice and comfortable to wear, and they're kind of high rise as well. So they kind of support that little bit of bloating that can happen sometimes. And yeah, they've also been a great investment, and I got them in a pack of 2 with the Juju cup for about $60. So that was great value, I think. And yes, I still have a packet of pads and a packet of tampons in the cupboard just in case. However, the cup has served me for almost a year now, and I'm finding that my period is in a much better rhythm. They're not as painful for the whole 3 or 4 days. Just every now and then they'll be painful on the first day, as long as I have my flexible schedule where I can kind of just go, today I'm going to rest, or it's going to be a Netflix day. I pull out all the tricks. I will hydrate, I will take Panadol, I will take Nurofen, I will put my oils on my belly, I will put a hot pack on my belly, and I will take it easy that first day. And it's usually only a couple of hours and I feel better anyway. And I've gotten to understand how my periods actually work and everything, including my skin, although it does have little breakouts every now and then, exhibit A. I feel like now my whole body has got back into a rhythm and it feels really good. There is one more product that I want to share with you though, and I'm just going to hold it up. It's this. This is a squatty potty. Yes. I'm going to link that below, and I'm actually going to link the funniest video you've ever seen to describe what that does. But basically, when you've got a lot of pressure on your organs down there, back and front, it can make it very painful to go to the bathroom. So that's what that product is for. It stays in our bathroom all the time now. When we have visitors, people are like, what is that thing in there? But actually, if they use it, it works. So I'm just going to link that and let it speak for itself. But I hope this has been helpful for any of you who are thinking about, is it time for me to go off the pill? Definitely go to your specialist and ask that question. Ask lots and lots of questions. And if you don't feel like you're getting the right attention or answers from one person, go and seek out another source. Go and seek out another source and go and look at your overall health, especially if you're entering into your 30s and whether you want to have children or not. It's so important that we're looking after our bodies and letting our bodies do its natural thing. I actually feel so much better for the process that I went through over the last 6 to 12 months. Most of the more difficult stuff was actually in the first few months, but I know now that I absolutely made the right choice for my body, and with the help of these things, I kind of got through it and I'm fine. So I do hope that this has helped you in some way. If it has, let me know in the comments below, and while you're there, hit subscribe because I do have lots of other videos on fashion, lifestyle, travel, beauty, and business. So I'd love for you to check all that out while you're here. Thanks everyone, I'll see you in my next video.